So we now go into the last 3 races. Now race 22 of the meeting. And it's the final qualification heat. Heat 3 for DD2 this time around. Race 22 of the meeting with a further 12 races tomorrow, which includes the 2 second chance heats, which will start our live coverage tomorrow morning at around about 10 o'clock local time. But the grid for DD2 for race 22 of the meeting, Heat 3, Groups A and C in DD2. Zana Sriblak and Luca Minaretto will be on the front row. Sebastian Janchevski and Ragnar Virus will be on row number 2. Nikolaj Steen and Matis Malinovskis will be on row number 3, ahead of Juuso Pantila and Sweden's David Remy. Joao Barros and Aleix Navarro Amigo will be on row number 5, ahead of Chris Zaiders. And we got John Anairi Bambus rounding out the 6th row with Andrus Zinkevicius and Manuel Tenschert on row 7. Imke Arts and also Harald Gakaklis in 16th. Zubekis, Bartels, Schiepers, Müller, Lut, Geha and Petroskaite rounds out the 23 strong. 10 minutes set on the clock plus an additional lap as we head towards the last 3 races. So a big thank you to everyone sticking with us for the last, well, since about 10 o'clock this morning. So we've been on the air, barring a half-hour break, since 10:15 with myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and also W Series and Racing Pride UK's Sarah Moore as we go into the tram lines. Very slow crawl, but we do go lights out for the final time in DD2 today as they head up the hill. Zander Sriblak again gets an absolutely lightning start as the driver from Genk in Belgium, running with Bouvin Power, running the 4:02, and then it's as they go through turn 8 down the hill to turn 9 for the final time. Everyone's safely making it through thus far as they head down the dip that puts them into turn 11. The short blast across the straightaway. It's a bit like the I'm sort of comparing parts of this circuit a bit like tracks in the UK, and it's a bit like the run to the boot at Wilton Mill when they come down the dip and then go. It's a bit of a longer straightaway as there's more positional changes. Looks like David Remy is trying to force the issue going through into turn 16. Oh, someone runs a bit wide, and that was one of the Birrell drivers as they come through to complete another lap here. So Nikolaj Steen, I think, was the driver that went 2 wheels nigh on the grassy knoll, if you will, Spanish grassy knoll, as there's a change for position as Janchevski has been passed through turn 5 by Luca Minaretto, with Janchevski already back on the counter-offensive through turn 7 and 8. So at the moment we've got Sriblak, Minaretto, Janchevski, Virus, Malinovskis, Pantila, Remy, Barros, Steen, Navarro Amigo, Zaiders, Tenschert, and Zinkevicius with Imke Arts and Bambus rounding out the top 15. As again, I think that there might still be a chance that Janchevski will get a run on Luca Minaretto for 2nd position. But Zander Sriblak has done a very good job so far this weekend. Put it on pole, won the first heat. As some good overtakings happening to through turn 16. As the sun is starting to descend a bit now. We're now at 10 to 6 local time here in southern Spain. Not too far outside of Madrid and Seville, and also the Costa del Sol. So you've got the places like Portabanús and Mijas, not too far away, probably about an hour or so's drive. As Minaretto being hounded, as David Remy getting really feisty behind Juuso Pantila in the 421, who's running with Dams Racing. But then he's, well, as I say that, Bantila's got past Malinovskis. So David Remy will now be concentrating his efforts to get past the Latvian from Aix Racing Team, who's running on the Cosmic chassis. Lead is now just over a second between Zander Triblak, as David Remy is now getting a double toe down the straightaway, based out of Stockholm. Very accomplished driver, finished, I think, if memory serves me correctly, within the top 5 in the B&L karting series last year, and also got an opportunity to run at Sarno. And he was actually P4 last year in the Rotax Max Euro Trophy overall, 3rd in the B&L karting series. He was 36th in the last year's grand finals. He also ran he's run in Sweden in the Rotax Max Challenge Sweden for the past 2. Well, he's run in 2017 and 2018. Now there's someone coming to a bit of a slow there. I think that might have been the and that's a very unhealthy kart. An engine, that's an exhaust that is not running right, as there are more battles going on as someone gets punted from behind. That was the 401 of Zaiders, who got a punt from behind coming out of turn 18. So now already the thing is that in comparison with a lot of the categories, because with the DD2 Masters class, we have 34 drivers, so everyone will make it to the final, but it's now about who wants to be up the grid as high as possible, because if I'm not a betting man, and if I was, Zander Triblak would be my shoe-in, you know, my odds-on favourite to go on pole position for the first of 2 finals tomorrow. But there are drivers that will want to say otherwise, but Luca Minaretto is not running as close as he would probably like in terms of Zander Triblak. So I'm going to bring back, as she's now back in the commentary box, Sarah. Again, some great battles here, and it just shows that even, you know, we've said this multiple times through yesterday and today so far through the broadcast schedule, of how exciting gearbox racing is, and the DD2s always provide great action. We've got some great drivers out there too.
Yeah, it's a nice step up just from the seniors to actually introduce some gears into kart racing. You don't see too much of it other than on the long circuit races. So yeah, it's nice to see the Rotax DD2 grids picking up.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison with last year, we found that we were amalgamating DD2 and DD2 Masters to run together just because of the volume of entries. It wasn't the fact that people weren't interested. It was just like we were asking people to come along. Roberto Pajewski, last year's champion for Rotax Euro, who actually was the DD2 Masters Grand Finals champion last October in Sarno, he made a plea, as I had to interview the top 4 before we went green for the finals on Sunday, and he said, come to Euro Trophy, come race with us. And the call has been answered, as there's more overtakes a little bit further towards the back part of the, I think that's possibly the top 15 there. And there's a few people. So we've got Imke Arts in there, Bumbus just behind in 15th, Manuel Tenscher. Didn't have a good run in his first heat, the Austrian, who I've had the opportunity to chat to over the last couple of seasons, having got to know him a bit better since Austria 2018. So Zander Triblak has a great lead of 1.6 seconds over Luca Minaretto from Italy. Poland's Sebastian Janchevski rounds out the top 3 ahead of Ragnar Virus and also Juuso Pantila. So 5 different nationalities in the top 5. You make that top 8 different nationalities as David Remy gets forced wide and 2 go up the inside of him. One of them is the 407 of Bambus. I think even Imke Arts has gone through too. So David Remy having a difficult race. I've seen him a lot higher up at the front of the field, but it's not been easy. So whether the Swede has an issue, I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear. So it looks like that Garkaklis from Birolot Baltics has, and we've got a mechanical black flag for David Remy. Remy's got a black flag, well, as we call it, the meatball flag. The meatball flag is the common term used in English motorsport circles. but it is a mechanical black flag, so it's the black flag with an orange circle in the middle. So David Remy's race, unfortunately, is over. That's going to put him on the back foot. But as Sarah and I have both alluded to, something like that puts a spanner in the works. The first thing you're going to do the following day is you're going to fight back. As Imke Arts gets pounced on by two drivers, that's Mark Bartels was one of them, and also the 407 of Bambus from Estonia. But Imke Arts, one of the other female drivers in this, she's fighting back. She's properly fighting back, and she's trying to go around the outside at turn 17. Look to be on, I think, Zubekis. As now Zubekis has got a bit further up, has got a little bit further up, but it's Mark Bartels and Bambus that are ahead of the young Dutch lady. As that's David Remy pulling into the pits, I can just tell by the exhaust note that definitely did not sound well at all. Because as soon as the baffles in the exhaust start going, you can hear it, and if it's not working to tolerance, post-scrutineering, it could be a technical issue, and it could be a penalty, possible exclusion from the race. As some people getting very, very trigger happy on late braking. And I know that everyone wants to do a Daniel Ricciardo and lick the stamp and send it, but now is not the time, because they've got to decide their grid positions. The classification at the moment with 34 seconds on the clock to go. Zander Striblak is comfortably leading, and his gap between him and Italy's Luca Munaretto is 1.948 seconds. Some good slipstreaming action heading on to the penultimate lap, going into turn 1, up the slight incline here. Then it's a further incline, so it looks a bit steeper going through turn 1 up into turn 2, and then it sort of plateaus a little bit. So you're probably talking about a 15 to 20 degree incline up the hill, but probably from turn 1 to turn 2 you're probably talking nigh on 25 to 30 degrees in terms of it. And then it's quite an aggressive dip, so probably a 15 to 20 degree angle descent through turn 10 when you've got to put it on the anchors and catch the car at the right time to rotate it in, and it's getting a bit feisty out there in the dying stages. Malinovskis and Zaiders have gone into battle, and this has allowed Navarro Amigo. It's 3 wide down the back straightaway, 4 of them scrabbling away, and this is probably for around about 8th position. Because now we go on to the final lap of the race, and Zander Striblak close to 2 seconds ahead of Luca Munaretto. In the middle of all that is Aleix Navarro Amigo on the CRG chassis. We've had a penalty, that's for the 499. That's Gerhard from France, unfortunately. It's not really going to do his race any further detriment because he's down in 21st position. So final lap it is, and coming now towards turn 12 for the final time with Bouvin Power is Belgium's Zander Striblak, the current reigning and defending champion of the BNL karting series in this particular category. He's run with Bouvin Power for quite a long time indeed. He blasts his way down to turn 15 and 16 for the final time. And second, third and fourth, it's being led by Luca Munaretto from 54 Squadra Corse, as Zander Striblak does qualifying, 2 race wins, and it's going to be a drag race to third. Oh, that's close! Janchevsky by a whisker trying to force Ragnar Virus to back off, and the tactic worked. The margin between them, 32 thousandths of a second across the line. But Zander Striblak has done his campaign of becoming the 2020 Winter Cup champion no harm at all. Puts it on pole in qualifying, 2 qualification heats. Luca Munaretto in second, Janchevsky from Poland in third, Virus from Estonia in fourth, Pantila from Finland in 5th place, Barros from Portugal in 6th, Navarro Amigo on home soil takes 7th, ahead of Zaiders, Malinovskis and Steen rounding out the top 10. Zinkevicius, Zubekis, Bartels, Bambus, Müller, Tenschert, Arts, Shapers, Petros Kaite and Lut with Gerhard rounding out the 21 that finished with unfortunate retirements on lap 4 from Birelon Baltics, Haralds Gaukakalis. And then David Remy retiring on lap number 8. So Zander Striblak finishes in first, Munaretto in second, Janchevsky in third. That's how the top three started. Make that the top four, with Virus and Jusso Pantala finished in fifth, starting from seventh. As that concludes the DD2 action for the qualifying heats here at Karting Campillos in Andalusia.